health anxiety. Anxiety about having a serious health condition like corona when you don't actually do. Number 1, you spend a lot of time worrying about getting the illness, reading the news and worrying about it. Number 2, you're triggered by small things, a sneeze or a cough, and you think that you got COVID. Number 3, you spend a lot of time and energy on behaviors related to this, like getting multiple tests or seeing multiple doctors, even when the symptoms don't match. 2 aspects of sports psychology. Number 1 is performance enhancement, to make the athlete more confident, more focused, and mentally sharper through mental training. The second aspect is mental health counseling, to make sure that the athlete doesn't undergo depression, anxiety, or any other kind of mental illness, and make sure they're positive and happier. So remember these 2 aspects, performance enhancement and mental health counseling. Take care.
Bongo la, bongo cha cha cha.
Hi everyone, this is Kunashni Parekh, Behavioral Neuroscience Research Scholar and ex-Vice Captain and Goalkeeper for India Under 17. And I'm going to see you this Saturday at 4 p.m. with Football Delhi for their Mind Goals campaign to talk about the brain of sports players and how it's different from other people, and also look at how we can take our confidence from low to high using 3 practical techniques. So I'll see you guys there and take care. Nobody is born confident. It is not that आप में confidence है या नहीं है, but confidence is something that you can change, you can train, you can make one person more confident. That's the whole idea of sports psychology, how you can change your mindset. So जो confidence होता है, it's a mental skill. वो अपने ट्रेनिंग से हम बदल सकते हैं और बहुत सारे फैक्टर से कंट्रोल होता है. बस जेनेटिक्स का खेल नहीं है, बस हमारे पर्सनालिटी का खेल नहीं है कि कुछ लोग में कॉन्फिडेंस है, कुछ में नहीं है. It is something that you can change. How you can change that? Let's look at that. So first, let's look at what the theory is saying. जो scientist है, he's a very famous scientist called Albert Bandura, okay, and he's from the West. And Albert Bandura says that there are very specific factors which lead to a person's confidence, okay, and he has this theory called social cognitive theory. और इसमें ये सब factors डाले हैं. So 1, 2, 3, 4 factors he says which helps a person become more confident. Number 1, performance accomplishments. इसका क्या मतलब है? That whatever accomplishment you've had, जितना ज़्यादा आपका success and achievement है, उतना ज़्यादा आपका confidence बढ़ेगा. So if you want to be more confident, aim to get more accomplishments in your performance. So increase the performance. Second, vicarious experiences. किसी और के performance को देखने से हमको प्रेरणा मिलती है, हमको inspiration मिलती है, हमको confidence आता है. So vicarious means किसी और के experience से जीना. So living through somebody else's experience. ये भी हमारे कॉन्फिडेंस को बढ़ाता है. If we see somebody else struggling and coming out of their crisis and tension, we also feel हाँ हम भी कर सकते हैं. So it's by role modeling and looking at other people's experience. अगर आप अपने प्लेयर को देखते हैं कि वो बहुत अच्छी से शॉट मारा, you look at that, you analyze that, your body starts reconnecting and performing those actions. Third, persuasion. हमारे कोच हमको परसुएट कैसे करते हैं, क्या बातें बोलते हैं. अगर वो हमको बढ़ावा देते, if he says positive things, positive words, automatically प्लेयर का कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता है. If he says negative things, always criticizing, only pointing out mistakes and not pointing out the good things, फिर भी प्लेयर का कॉन्फिडेंस घटने लगता है. So it's about persuasion, what coach says to you, what the parents say to the children, and what you as a person also say to yourself. आप अपने आप को क्या बोल रहे हो, आपका self talk क्या है. And finally, physiological state. मतलब आपका breathing rate, आपका arousal, how much you regulate all your body functions, because as you guys know, mind and body very connected. If your body is calm, muscles are relaxed, you feel more relaxed in the mind also.
Alone. Touch it, shut up and bend.
Hey athletes, if you're recovering from an injury, make sure you work on your physical, your technical, and your mental recovery as well. DM me for more help.
मशहूर, करना कभी तू मुझे नजरों से दूर। किथे चलिए तू, किथे चलिए तू, किथे चलिए।
सुना सफर पर प्रेम नगर है, मिल पाएंगे क्या हम तुमसे, जो रात बीती सुबह तो आई ना। छोटी उम्र पर बड़ी नजर है, मिल जाएंगे ये हम तुमसे, छुपा छुपाई नजर तो आई ना।
7 ways to mentally prepare for your match. Revise your match strategy. Deep breathing. Refocus on your strengths. Shadow practice. Your personal prayer or mantra. Affirmations. Listen to your favorite music. How to get mentally into the zone before a match if you're feeling too low. Listen to high frequency or high tempo music. Take quick and short breaths. Splash some cold water on your face and speak to people who can pump you up, like your friends and seniors. 3 things you should never do when you try to meditate. Don't lie down, you might fall asleep. Sit up straight with your back straight. Keep your phone away and turn your notifications off so nothing distracts you. And don't try to meditate after you eat food. It's difficult to concentrate on a full stomach. How to motivate yourself when you're losing a match. Focus on the current point. Use positive self-talk. Refocus on your strengths. And lighten the mood and have fun. How to get into the zone mentally before a match. If you're too tense or too anxious, here's how to calm yourself down. Listen to low beat music. Take deep and slow breaths. Refocus on your strengths. Keep your opponents out of your mind. 2 worst times to give advice about somebody's performance. Number 1, when a player just when he loses a match. Number 2, right after a player just wins a match. When's the best time to give advice? Way before the match, during training and practice, or whenever the player asks. 5 reasons why parents become the enemy of children. You don't allow them to make their own decisions. You like to control everything that they do. When they share a secret with you, you scold them. When they share their feelings with you, you dismiss them. And when they share an achievement with you, you ask, how could you have done better? 3 useless things to say to people who are scared. Be confident. Focus on winning. Stop worrying. You can't just be confident. You have to learn how to make yourself confident. You can't just focus on winning and stop worrying. You have to learn how to shift your focus. So stop giving useless advice.
तू मर्ज है दवा भी, पर आदत है हमें, रोका है खुद को लेकिन.
3 reasons why you freeze during performance. You're not confident and you get scared. You haven't revised your match strategy and get confused. Or you're mentally tired or stressed and your brain and body just gives up. The 2 times you need to see a sports psychologist. 1, something's going terribly wrong. You're having fears, anxiety, stress, depression, confidence is low, not being able to play well. So you need to fix that issue. Number 2, nothing's going wrong, everything's fine. But you still want to work on your mental strength, be more confident, play much better, make faster and quicker decisions with your mind on the field. One of the biggest mistakes athletes make is that they don't do conscious practice. This means if you're running around or doing a drill or practicing a serve or shot, you're doing it just one after the other on repetition because a coach told you to do it or somebody else told you to do it, without observing the small changes and differences it's making each time that you do it. So do it more consciously, observe your strokes, observe your rounds, how your stamina is changing, how your technique is changing, and that's when you will improve. One really big thing to avoid before a match or competition is to put your phone away. Any kind of news, any kind of message that might be an emotional trigger can change your entire mindset and change your performance. So do yourself a favor and keep all these triggers away. Hustle culture only becomes toxic when it's done at a compromise of your physical health or your mental health. If you're taking care of your well-being and self-care is good, your diet, sleep, food, social well-being and your overall mental well-being and happiness, then go all out and hustle as much as you can. The relationship between coaches and athletes should be very transparent. The athlete should feel comfortable to talk to the coach and open up if they have any problem. And the coach should also, in return, provide very specific feedback and constantly encourage the athlete, boosting their confidence, not pointing out flaws and comparing them all the time and breaking their trust. Sometimes parents ask me, am I putting too much pressure on my kids? And the answer is yes. Read the caption to know more. If you're not mentally prepared or in the right zone, then how much ever fit you are physically or technically good, better than all the rest of the players, it's not going to matter if at that moment you can't perform. And that's why you got to focus on mental training and understand the beautiful world of sports psychology and how it can help you. 3 things you should never do when you try to meditate. Don't lie down, you might fall asleep. Sit up straight with your back straight. Keep your phone away and turn your notifications off so nothing distracts you. And don't try to meditate after you eat food. It's difficult to concentrate on a full stomach. Signs you have anxiety. Constantly checking your phone for messages from people, wondering why they haven't replied. Constantly asking yourself if you said something wrong or worrying if people are judging you. You arrive extra early to places because of the intense fear of being late. You please people in the fear that they might get upset and shout at you. Do you see any of these signs of anxieties in you? Signs that you need a break. You find it difficult to concentrate. You doubt yourself a lot and your thoughts have become negative. No matter how much you sleep, you wake up feeling tired. Your immunity is low and you fall sick easily. You get easily frustrated and irritable. Share this with someone who you think needs to know. 3 things about depression no one talks about. Depression isn't something you can just smile and snap out of. The treatment and recovery process is more complex than that and sometimes involves therapy. There doesn't have to be a known reason, a specific trauma or cause of depression. Sometimes it just creeps up on you gradually and takes you by surprise. Depression isn't just about feeling sad. It could also be the lack of other emotions, like feeling numb or unable to experience excitement or hope. If you know someone who's struggling, do reach out. As you know,
feels like I'm always waiting.
7 signs your mental health is not going well. Your irritability has increased. You cancel plans and withdraw from friends and family. Your appetite has changed. You're eating too much or too little. You lost interest in things you used to enjoy. Your ability to concentrate has reduced. Your thoughts about the future are more negative. You get easily tired with simple activities. Reach out for support so that you can tackle 6 common mental struggles in sports people. Not feeling confident about their performance. Getting nervous before competitions. Worrying about the competitor's performance. Not being able to communicate with the coach. Unable to balance sports and other activities. Unable to attend social events or make plans with friends. Share this with an athlete you know so that they don't have to experience 5 ways that anxiety can manifest. Biting your lips often. Playing with a pen or random stationery. Peeling your skin unnecessarily. Muscle weakness, headaches or digestive problems. Constantly asking your friends for the same advice even though you've gathered enough opinions. Problems with sleep can be a sign of anxiety, stress or depressed mood. Take care of your health. Reach out. 5 signs of emotional exhaustion. You start feeling tired easily and it's difficult to exercise or work out. You put off doing small things for later which were once easier to do. You feel exhausted when you wake up and don't look forward to the day. You find it hard to concentrate on work and zone out easily. You snap at people easily and get angry at them out of nowhere. Read the caption for more. So have you ever experienced 5 anxieties of an athlete before a competition? Pressure of results, the selection process or winning the final game. Uncertainty of the competition schedule and match timings. Not feeling confident about performance. Worrying about your fitness levels and your own appearance when your coach is not present at the event. Have you ever experienced 5 signs of loneliness? You try to socialize and make plans, but feel out of place and ignored. You spend time scrolling on your phone aimlessly even when you're amidst other people. You feel tired, sleepy, and low in energy, even though you're with other people most of the time. You block out emotions by binge watching TV shows, playing video games, or scrolling on your phone. You get addicted to buying new things that you don't need to fill an emotional pain. Have you ever experienced any of these 10 things to say instead of I love you? I feel lucky I have you. I wish I knew you sooner. I love to spend time with you. I hate when our schedules don't match. You are precious to me. I feel safe to be around you. I know I can rely on you. We will work it out together. You enhance my existence. I value what we have. Did somebody come to mind? Try using these. Six signs of a great relationship. If you made a mistake, you're able to communicate and apologize. You take an interest in each other's lives and ask questions. You recognize and compliment each other's efforts. You can openly share things that make you feel ashamed, embarrassed, or vulnerable. The intention of your argument is to always find a solution. You take time to work on yourself and focus on self-improvement. Send this to someone who needs to hear. 3 reasons that athletes take drugs. Physical reasons: to improve performance, strength, stamina, alertness, or reduce pain, also called doping. Psychological reasons: to experience pleasure or escape reality, which might be harsh to deal with. Social reasons: the influence of peer pressure and the need to feel accepted by a group. Which one of these did you know about? 4 symptoms that could be covering up depression: binge eating or undereating, thinking that it's caused by mood swings or stress. Forgetting things easily, problems with memory recall, increased pain in certain body parts like muscle weakness, stomach pain, or headaches, sudden bursts of anger and aggression that leads to guilt and regret. Are you aware of 6 things athletes secretly cry about? Seeing other athletes get more attention from the coach, watching your friends outperform you, missing the medal or the match by just a small margin, not getting support from your families, having to give up other commitments in life to pursue sports, getting multiple injuries. Have you experienced 6 signs that you're an extroverted introvert? You enjoy time alone but don't mind good company. You like to talk about real topics, not make small talk. You find some people exciting and some people boring. Your energy is deeply affected by your company. You choose your company very carefully. Even if you choose to socialize, you always have an escape plan. Do you know someone like this? Share this with someone so that they can know.
जैसे आँखों की डिबिया में निंदिया और निंदिया में मीठा सा सपना और सपने में मिल जाए फरिश्ता सा कोई.
5 mistakes sports coaches should never make. Showing partialities to some players and discriminating. Promising players about when they'll get a chance to play and not giving it. Showing up late to training or skipping important matches. Over-criticizing the athletes and pointing out faults all the time. Comparing athletes with other athletes constantly. Read more in the caption. Have you ever committed or been a target of 5 signs that you're a highly sensitive person? You get easily affected by other people's story, mood, and pain. When people ask you to do too many things at once, you feel overwhelmed and feel like you can't give enough time and attention to one thing. You often feel like being alone to process all the emotions you're going through. You hate change and prefer to doing one thing at one time. When someone asks you to answer or perform in front of an audience, you feel nervous and are not able to give your best without worrying. Share this with someone who you think might need to know. Signs of highly functioning anxiety. You function really well in work and school, never miss a deadline, and produce good quality work. You find it difficult to slow down and take a break. Free time gives you anxiety. People may call you a workaholic. Externally, you might seem calm, but internally, there are constant worries and doubt that eat you up. Nobody knows how much anxiety you actually store inside you. While you may seem like you have it all together, this kind of anxiety will burst out at some point and cause you hurt in your relationships, your health, and work. Address your anxiety before it's too late. 6 mental health struggles after a sports injury. Self-blame and guilt for getting an injury. Frustration due to not being able to train. Sadness due to missing opportunities. Jealousy seeing others take opportunities. Self-doubt of your ability to recover. Anger at anything that could have caused the injury. My name is Kunashni and I help athletes get back from an injury as a sports psychologist and help you train your mind. Have you experienced any of these? Three signs that you're experiencing a burnout. You constantly feel physically and emotionally drained, but find it difficult to take a break or be able to fall asleep. You procrastinate on small things that could have been done easily because you have no energy. You have no time for yourself. No self-care in terms of your diet, sleep, social life or me time. All this happens because your brain cells haven't got the adequate rest and nourishment they require. It's a complete dopamine crash. Avoid your mental health reaching this point and try to observe 4 symptoms that could be covering up depression. Constant headaches and complaints about body pain and low energy. Sudden outbursts of anger coming out of nowhere. Feeling sad for a long period of time for no reason and wondering why. Constant problems to focus your attention at work or in one place. Don't be surprised by these 5 mental health tips to balance sports and studies. Make a schedule of time for sports and for studies and stick to it. Give yourself a reward every time you stick to your schedule, like your favorite snack, calling a friend, or going out. Keep any distraction like phones away during training and studies. Accept that you can't make certain social commitments due to your schedule. Ask your parents or siblings to help monitor your schedule. Do you struggle with this? Share this with someone who you think needs to know. Top 5 things someone with social anxiety wants you to know. If they don't socialize, it's because of the fear they have of interacting and worry about how people would judge them. Whenever they don't show up and cancel plans, they wanted to come, but the fear won this time. It's never about you. It's a battle with their own fears. They don't want to upset you, but at the same time feel terrible for not being able to be there for you. They don't want any attention or special treatment. Just understanding and being there for them is enough. So always keep in mind, if you feel that nobody thinks about you and are sad because of that, try this. Write a message to someone you haven't spoken to in a while and thank them for what they did in your life. Maybe even recall a positive memory with them. Just by receiving this positive message, they might reciprocate about something positive they remember about you and may even thank you for the same. Every positive experience starts with a positive intention. When you give out positive vibes, you get them in return. 3 reasons why children need more creative activities. It develops emotional skills. It improves mood and depressed feelings through self-expression and discovery. It sharpens personality, improves self-esteem, self-confidence, social skills, and creativity. Cognitive power. It enhances divergent thinking, problem-solving, imagination, memory, and attention. So allow your children to engage in creative play through drawing, painting, playing music, creative writing, dancing, acting, or even playing board games or controlled video games. Way to kick your brain into momentum is by moving your body. When you're mentally tired and feel really low because of whatever is happening, 30 minutes of playing a sport, going for a walk, or exercising releases endorphins, which are chemicals that uplift your mood and reduces pain. Doctors actually recommend this to people when their mood is low because it helps in a process called behavioral activation, which is shown to be helpful in the therapy for depression. If you're stuck in a spiral of sad thoughts, depressed mood, and a lot of emotional pain, try to move your body and watch your brain also reflect this change. 8 ways to break your phone addiction. Don't keep your phone next to you while falling asleep. Delete apps which are not useful and too addictive. Filter off some phone notifications to only the most important ones. Don't use your phone as an alarm. Use another device or an actual clock alarm. Set a clear intention of using your phone and then put it down right after that. Try to go explore nearby while leaving your phone behind. Try a meditation retreat or camp where you're not allowed to use your phones. Lock your phone up for one entire day without being able to touch it until the next morning. Sounds challenging but might be fun to try. Which one of these are you gonna try? Share this to help someone with
Can I take you on a wild adventure? All my life I've never been sure until now.
3 things that might make anxiety worse. Staying in your comfort zone. Anxiety makes you not want to do the thing that you're afraid of. But any growth starts initially with a moderate level of discomfort. Avoiding all situations that cause you anxiety. Because of this, you're not going to be able to face your fears and overcome them. Trying to be in control of the outcome every single time. It's not healthy or realistic to expect that you'll be able to influence a situation every time. Accepting this can reduce anxiety. things you didn't know about men's mental health. Men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. Men face social stigma where they're not allowed to talk about their emotional problems. Toxic masculinity doesn't allow them to open up as they might get labeled as weak. Men have a higher pressure of a financial burden to take care of the family, which might be a pressure from a young age. Make sure you tell all the men in your life that it's okay to have a mental health problem, and talking about it just makes you more human.
We get so caught up in the moment that we forget there's something bigger than ourselves, than our work, than our deadlines. When I look up at the snow-capped mountains, all worries balance itself out, and the only thought I have is what's for lunch.
6 ways how losing a match can affect your mental health. Feeling hopeless and dejected, unsure about winning the next match. Feeling like a failure. Feeling like you wasted your time, money and investment. Feeling you let yourself down and the coach down. Doubting your worth as an athlete and as a person. Feeling confused about your performance and struggling to make sense of why you perform that way. It can be overwhelming sometimes when you lose a match. You have to refocus your mind and put your energy and attention on the next target. Share this with someone so they know.
I fall in love with you a little bit more, little bit more. Every time
3 truths of how endorphins can affect mental health. Endorphins act as natural painkillers, making you immune to physical discomfort. They produce a feeling of high in the body, making you feel good. It has the same effect on the brain's chemicals, like having dark chocolate or other pleasure-related activities. Release as many endorphins as you can in your body by exercising minimum 3 to 4 times a week. Save this to remind yourself.
Today I took a beautiful ride through the mountains. The roads seemed to symbolize all the twists and turns of life so far. As I gazed out at the breathtaking scenery, I found a sense of peace and calm.
Here are 5 signs that you have both anxiety and depression. You obsess about things having to go well, but also sometimes struggle to find the point in anything. You avoid meeting people and interacting because of not being comfortable, but then also feel deeply lonely. Feeling anxious about completing something, but then giving up because you're just physically and emotionally exhausted. Overthinking about the future and also feeling very hopeless about it. You are worried about what people think about you, but also feel like nothing matters. Did you know that you could have both anxiety and depression? One superfood to sharpen your brain. A research done in a university in Australia tested their students' stress levels at the beginning of the semester and then right before the exams. They found that a group of students who were on a walnut diet, consuming about 60 grams of walnuts per day, showed no increase in stress before the exams. They also reported lower symptoms of depressed mood. Walnuts are rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and melatonin, other nutrients which are really good for your brain. So definitely try this.
This is your reminder to surround yourself with the people who can boost you when you're down, who know when you've had a bad day, who can tell when you're stressed, and who flood your brain with oxytocin, assuring you that there's so much more to life than the shit we face from the worst parts of our day.
7 signs that your mental health is improving. Your bad days don't seem so overwhelming anymore, and you know that they're temporary. You start noticing your body's health needs and start working out, eating well, and sleeping properly. Thoughts are more clear and you can make decisions more smoothly. You don't force your feelings away or hide how you're feeling. You're open to express your emotions. Your mind doesn't have control of you. You have control over your negative thoughts and can change them to your liking. You're more open to meeting friends and going out. You're not afraid to try new things and have an adventurous spirit. Have you noticed any of these? Sometimes we have so much to say, but choose not to say it. Keep it to ourselves and may then forget about it. But according to psychology, this is not good for our brains and for our overall health. Unexpressed emotions are a slow poison that hurts our body's immunities, our self-esteem, and our relationships. So when you feel something, it's better to consciously and politely share it with the person that bothers you. Just venting solves a lot of the problem. And if you're not able to say it to the person directly, just write it down. Thinking about it is not the same as writing it down, which brings more clarity and closure. The best way to win an argument is to start your sentence with "science says" or "research shows." But did you know that a lot of scientific research studies are actually done on animals rather than humans? Animal research has helped to advance our understanding of biology, medicine, and other related fields. But humans are certainly more complex. While research from animals definitely helps us learn something about behaviors and brain chemistry, we should remember that it's not always human brains that are sacrificed for this purpose, and that our brain chemistry is different. So be careful what you read and what science says, even though sometimes, if your brain fogs up and it's difficult to make sense of things or make decisions, it's possible you're not giving your brain enough oxygen. This is called hypoxia. To start being able to concentrate better, feel motivated and more positive, you really just need to make sure that your tissues and cells are getting enough amount of oxygen delivered. There are two ways you have to make sure to do this. Engaging in deep breathing. Just 15 minutes of deep breathing exercises can boost your body's oxygen absorption and make your cognitive abilities sharper. Consuming oxygen-rich foods, which are high in antioxidants such as leafy green vegetables, nuts, and berries, can improve memory, attention, and mood. Staying calm and happy when the conditions really don't suit it is a skill. Here's one way to build it. Surprisingly, getting your hands dirty in gardening or taking care of plants can increase serotonin levels in the brain, make you happier, calmer, and in tune with yourself. According to research, gardening can provide a sense of accomplishment and increase exposure to natural light and nature, which can have a positive effect on mood and stress levels. So consider buying a plant and taking care of it to create a positive vibe around you, a greener planet, and a peaceful mind. Five signs of loneliness. You try to socialize and make plans, but feel out of place and ignored. You spend time scrolling on your phone aimlessly even when you're amidst other people. You feel tired, sleepy, and low in energy, even though you're with other people most of the time. You block out emotions by binge watching TV shows, playing video games, or scrolling on your phone. You get addicted to buying new things that you don't need to fill an emotional pain. Have you ever experienced any of these? 5 signs that you're a highly sensitive person. You get easily affected by other people's story, mood, and pain. When people ask you to do too many things at once, you feel overwhelmed and feel like you can't give enough time and attention to one thing. You often feel like being alone to process all the emotions you're going through. You hate change and prefer to doing one thing at one time. When someone asks you to answer or perform in front of an audience, you feel nervous and are not able to give your best without worrying. Share this with someone who you think might need to know. Here's how creative people have an advantage. People who make art, draw, paint, or play music are better able to handle their stress and mood. They also have better connectivity between the left and right side of their brain, which allows them to combine different ideas and use divergent thinking. People with high creativity also have interesting personalities, things to talk about, different perspectives and opinions about life, and sometimes even use their art as a way to change the world or heal personal trauma. 5 signs that you're being manipulated. They make your problems seem as they're not as big as their problems. They use personal attacks to win arguments when it's not even relevant to the problem. They do things for you without asking and then use that as leverage to ask you to do things that they want. Every conversation feels like you're defending yourself and that they are the victim. They rarely take responsibility for what happens and only show that they're taking effort to fix things without any concrete steps to prove it. Have you ever noticed?
आजा सावरिया आजा सावरिया
3 things about depression no one talks about. Depression isn't something you can just smile and snap out of. The treatment and recovery process is more complex than that and sometimes involves therapy. There doesn't have to be a known reason, a specific trauma or cause of depression. Sometimes it just creeps up on you gradually and takes you by surprise. Depression isn't just about feeling sad. It could also be the lack of other emotions, like feeling numb or unable to experience excitement or hope. If you know someone who's struggling, do reach out. As you know,
it's in the moments when we don't need words to communicate that we truly connect with those around us. Whether it's a smile, a touch, or a shared moment of silence, embrace that connection. Because sometimes the most powerful things in life can't be put into words.
3 signs that you're experiencing a burnout. You constantly feel physically and emotionally drained, but find it difficult to take a break or be able to fall asleep. You procrastinate on small things that could have been done easily because you have no energy. You have no time for yourself. No self-care in terms of your diet, sleep, social life or me time. All this happens because your brain cells haven't got the adequate rest and nourishment they require. It's a complete dopamine crash. Avoid your mental health reaching this point and try to observe 6 signs that you're an extroverted introvert. You enjoy time alone but don't mind good company. You like to talk about real topics, not make small talk. You find some people exciting and some people boring. Your energy is deeply affected by your company. You choose your company very carefully. Even if you choose to socialize, you always have an escape plan. Do you know someone like this? Share this with someone so that they can know 5 signs of emotional exhaustion. You start feeling tired easily and it's difficult to exercise or work out. You put off doing small things for later which were once easier to do. You feel exhausted when you wake up and don't look forward to the day. You find it hard to concentrate on work and zone out easily. You snap at people easily and get angry at them out of nowhere. Read the caption for more. So have you ever experienced? According to research, our brains are hardwired to find faults and focus on negative aspects of situations. This is due to evolution and known as the negativity bias. We constantly focus on what's going wrong that we forget to pause and do a reality check of how things might be going just fine. Here are 3 steps to get out of this trick using positive reframing. Write about 3 things that you're proud of about yourself, no matter how big or small. 3 things that you've accomplished recently, even as little as getting out of bed on time. 3 compliments you've received from people around you. By training our brain to shift focus on this information, we can get out of the negativity bias, reduce our stress, and feel happier. Who doesn't want to be happy? It's probably the one thing that we're constantly looking for. A Harvard study that went on for 75 years by tracking the lives of 700 people revealed 3 things about happiness. Good relationships are the most important. People who had stronger connections with their families, friends, and communities lived longer and were overall more happier and healthier. People who valued fame and money were not as happy as the people who valued good relationships and finding meaning in their lives. Good health, both physical and mental, were important for overall happiness. So to be happy, remember to build deep, meaningful relationships, a strong sense of meaning, and good health, because 6 common mental struggles in sports people. Not feeling confident about their performance. Getting nervous before competitions. Worrying about the competitor's performance. Not being able to communicate with the coach. Unable to balance sports and other activities. Unable to attend social events or make plans with friends. Share this with an athlete you know so that they don't have to experience.
The brain is divided into 4 primary sections. All need stimulation to keep it going. Novelty, creativity, and art increase neural synaptic connections, strengthening memory and divergent thinking. What new way are you finding to stimulate your brain today?
5 ways that anxiety can manifest. Biting your lips often. Playing with a pen or random stationery. Peeling your skin unnecessarily. Muscle weakness, headaches, or digestive problems. Constantly asking your friends for the same advice even though you've gathered enough opinions. If someone ever told you you can't do something, this is your sign. This is your message. Wake up, draw out a plan, and start today. What are you waiting for? 6 signs of a great relationship. If you made a mistake, you're able to communicate and apologize. You take an interest in each other's lives and ask questions. You recognize and compliment each other's efforts. You can openly share things that make you feel ashamed, embarrassed, or vulnerable. The intention of your argument is to always find a solution. You take time to work on yourself and focus on self-improvement. Send this to someone who needs to hear. There are 3 people who can stop you from doing what you set your heart out to. You, yourself, and your thoughts. 6 things athletes secretly cry about. Seeing other athletes get more attention from the coach. Watching your friends outperform you. Missing the medal or the match by just a small margin. Not getting support from your families. Having to give up other commitments in life to pursue sports. Getting multiple injuries. Have you experienced 7 signs your mental health is not going well? Your irritability has increased. You cancel plans and withdraw from friends and family. Your appetite has changed. You're eating too much or too little. You lost interest in things you used to enjoy. Your ability to concentrate has reduced. Your thoughts about the future are more negative. You get easily tired with simple activities. Reach out for support so that you can tackle
way to kick your brain into momentum is by moving your body. When you're mentally tired and feel really low because of whatever is happening, 30 minutes of playing a sport, going for a walk, or exercising releases endorphins, which are chemicals that uplift your mood and reduces pain. Doctors actually recommend this to people when their mood is low because it helps in a process called behavioral activation, which is shown to be helpful in the therapy for depression. If you're stuck in a spiral of sad thoughts, depressed mood, and a lot of emotional pain, try to move your body and watch your brain also reflect this change.
Maturing is realizing you don't want to be around drama, stress, or conflict anymore. You start choosing calm over chaos and distance over disrespect. You start prioritizing your peace, mental health, and happiness over everything.
गिरता हुआ वो आसमां से आकर गिरा जमीन पर ख्वाबों में फिर भी बादल ही थे वो कहता रहा मगर के अल्लाह के बंदे हंस
Just that fact, knowing that you could make it, knowing that you're good enough. Maybe it was just by 1 point, maybe it was an injury, maybe you got nervous. But missing out on the opportunity to prove yourself, that's what hurts athletes the most. That's what they're scared about the most.
And it goes like this. We'll get you pouring your
I'm a sports psychologist and a clinical psychologist, and I know how you can improve your mood. I know how you can boost your happy hormones. I know how you can mend your relationships. And over time, I'm here to give you bits of tips to do the same. Let's begin. Endorphins and dopamine. These are your two best friends. Most self-growth activities release these two neurochemicals. So find things that boost your dopamine in the long term. Exercise is number 1. Checking off a to-do list is number 2. So to make yourself feel good, put on your running shoes, break a sweat, and check off something that has been pending. And watch your dopamine rush and your mood rocket. Keep following me at Kanashni Psychologist for more tips on brain health. Have a great day, y'all! Here's a mistake you're making before your match. If you're touching your phone before an important performance, you might want to hear this. Checking your phone might seem harmless, but certain messages, viral content, or entertaining videos could have some negative information that affects your confidence and pre-performance mindset. Here's how to have a healthy pre-match routine for a confident mindset. Focus on your match strategy. Analyze the conditions. Listen to music for your optimal level of arousal to get you into your zone. Practice focused deep breathing. Visualize a successful performance. This will keep your pre-match mental environment under control and save you from potentially negative information that could shift your focus. Follow Kanashni Psychologist for more tips on mindset and sports psychology. And here we are with mistake number 5 in visualization. Ma'am, I tried visualization like you said. And how was it? I couldn't see myself. What do you mean? When I close my eyes, it's not clear. I can't see the ball or myself. The picture is very blurred. And I have too many thoughts. Here's what you need to do. Before even trying to visualize, you need to prepare yourself for visualization. Sit in a quiet place. Take 10 deep breaths in and out. As much air as you can in and as much air as you can out. Next, close your eyes and follow your breathing for 1 minute. And finally, write down a short story of what you would like to visualize. Use this script to guide your visualization initially. This will help your mind focus and build your mental clarity. Stay tuned for more tips on sports psychology. Follow Kanashni Psychologist for strong mental training. I can fly. Yo, endorphins, what's up? Haven't you heard? I'm on a runner's high. What's that? Apparently, you don't need that green stuff to get high. So you just run? No, not just run. Any kind of physical exercise. It releases pain-relieving hormones. These happy chemicals that make you feel high. Think about you every night. Hello, sir. When can I join the next fitness class? It's all booked. Sorry. Booked? But I want the runner's high. So we don't sell drugs. No, not drugs. Runner's high. You feel good when you exercise. Hello? Hello? So you guys coming or what? No, I think I'll sit it out. There will be good food. Really good, brain-hitting food. And there'll be great music and more people to socialize with. I'm not sure. Seeing it from a logical perspective, if you're gonna stay at home, you're gonna mull over this relationship thing that's clearly over. And for someone who's the least interested in you. I went to Sasha's party just the other day. What? He's been going out and having fun? See, I told you. Give me my newest smile in sheep neuron dress. What you doing? I'm going to dance the night away and make him forget his action potential. That's the spirit. I love seeing oxytocin like this. You go, girl. Dopamine, can you turn down the volume? Wait, this is my favorite part. I'm trying to have a conversation here. I'm trying to meditate. Oh my god, I love this song. Let him be. I've heard listening to your favorite music gives dopamine a rush for long. I've also heard it's a great way to facilitate social bonding. Music is a universal language, you know, and it speaks straight to the heart. It also activates the temporal lobe responsible for memory and attention. See, so many benefits. Not on that level. Reduce it, please. How do I get good sleep before my matches? Does it affect your performance? Yes, I'm a little bit distracted the next day and I feel tired. Since when do you have this issue with sleep? About half a year now. Does it happen on normal days? No, usually just before my match. I think you're facing performance anxiety, which is interrupting your sleep. You're subconsciously anxious about the tournament and it's preventing you from sleeping. So how do I get good sleep? Deep breathing, Yog Nidra, and journaling your thoughts and emotions. How will that help? Deep breathing will relax your sympathetic nervous system. Yog Nidra is a sleep meditation that will calm your body and mind. And journaling will help you rationalize and control your anxious thoughts. I'll try these. Follow for more tips on performance and brain health. You know, I'm so smart. When I study neuroscience, I'm basically learning about myself. Should I stop pumping all that blood to you? I think it's got to your head. Just wait till you see when we're low on oxygen. You'll heave for me. I just want to stay warm. It's so dry in here. Aren't you all so cute? You got a time limit. I'm the one who's gonna be here long after y'all are gone. Who invited him? He kind of runs the show. Soul? Oh, that's me. We have no evidence for you. You're being evicted. What? No, I live here. See, I told you. Better be in the books or you're out. Looks like I'm in charge again. If you're not motivated in life, one of these 5 brain reasons could be holding you back. You aren't getting proper sleep, which is crashing your dopamine levels. You aren't eating right, which is imbalancing your serotonin and mood. You're burnt out and your cortisol is very high. You need a break. You aren't pursuing what you love doing, and so you're not getting that natural dopamine high from your work. Sports psychology is not just for athletes. Students face performance anxiety before exams. An employee faces performance anxiety before a big presentation. An actor faces performance anxiety before a big audition. We're performers in different aspects of our lives at different levels, which constantly tests our confidence and ability to thrive under pressure. So use meditation to stay in the moment. Use visualization to be more confident about your goals. And use journaling to express and overcome your fears and emotions. Anyone can benefit from the right performance tools. Ma'am, actually, I play my best when my coach is around. With this new coach, I feel very nervous to perform well. You got to understand that you may not have your coach at all tournaments. What should I do? Think about everything that he has taught you. Visualize performing that. Also visualize the reaction on his face when you go back and share how you followed his teachings when you performed. I think he'll be really happy if I perform well. So focus on that. Focus on your performance. And remember that his teachings and good wishes are always with you. Seven secrets of a psychologist. Let's go. We care about the client more than we show. We get burnt out too and need to take care of our mental health. We want to see you grow as much as you do. We might be upset when you don't do the homework, but we might not show it. We can't read your mind. We can only hear what you tell us. At the same time, we're good at hearing things you're not saying by observing what conversation you're avoiding or emotions you're suppressing. We love having fun outside of sessions. We don't always sound so serious.
Ever since I left the city,
only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
देखो देखो कैसी बातें यहाँ की है, साथ पर है साथ ना भी.
So everybody sing. One love for the mother's pride. One love.
The best mindset tips are often the simplest ones. If you're tired, sleep. If you're upset, communicate. If you're dissatisfied, reorder your priorities. And if you're angry, take a walk. And if you want more mindset tips, follow Kunashni Psychologist. What do you like about yourself? You are awesome. What do you struggle with the most? Tell yourself you have no limitations. What emotions are you failing to express? Think positive all the time. Think positive, do positive. Can you please? I'm trying to talk to the client here. You are self-sufficient.
मेरे दिल के भी दिल में है तू.
Some of you might know me, I'm a sports psychologist, but I'm here to tell you 3 things that keep coming up that I feel you should know by now. Sports is 90% mental. If your mind is not in the game, you can't perform under pressure. Mental training starts early, not a day before your match. If you train your mind, you're not mentally weak, you're smart for getting ahead. So when are you starting your mental strength journey?
You couldn't scroll past that, could you?
That's because our brain stops at information that stands out.
Thanks to evolution.
But this can lead to constant distraction, possibly causing ADHD.
If you want to stay focused, control your mind and be calm, then stick around. You've just had a terrible game. Your shots were off, your timing went wrong, nothing went right. I bet you're thinking, this just wasn't my day, right? But here's the thing. Have you ever noticed how truly great athletes never seem to have these off days? What's their secret? The difference isn't talent or luck. It's mindset. Champions don't leave their performance to chances. They own it every single time. In science, it's called having an internal locus of control. The belief that you're in charge of your own performance. Research shows that athletes with this mindset consistently perform better. So here's your champion's mindset hack. After every performance, write down the answer to these questions. When you stop blaming luck and start taking ownership, you're rewiring your brain to focus on solutions, not excuses. Remember, champions aren't born lucky. They make their own luck through consistent self-improvement. So next time, the choice is yours. Blame luck or become the champion you're meant to be. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. Athletes, you've heard that visualization is key to winning. But when you close your eyes, maybe you're not sure what to visualize and might not be able to see things clearly. What if I told you that there's a pro technique to turn those mental images into real-world results? And it's easier than you think. Scientifically, the mirror neurons in your brain fire as if you're actually performing when you visualize, which improves your performance significantly. Here's your visualization playbook. There are 3 types that you need to know. Preparation. See yourself warming up, stepping onto the field and feeling that pre-game energy. Action. See Feel your muscles tensing as you execute the perfect serve or that game-winning shot. Outcome. Experience the excitement of the victory, the weight of the trophy, and the roar of the crowd. This isn't just positive thinking, it's science-based mental training. Each time you do this, you're building your muscle memory and wiring your brain for success. Remember, champions don't win by chance. They visualize their victory in detail. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. Ever wondered how the world's fastest man stays cool under pressure? Usain Bolt's secret might surprise you. I've learned over the years that if you start thinking about the race, it stresses you out a little bit. When stress hits, your brain gets into survival mode. It's wired to treat every challenge like a serious threat. And suddenly, that race or game feels like it's life or death. But Bolt outsmarted his brain. By thinking about playing video games and things he likes to do to relax after his race, he's reminding himself that life goes on after the performance. Here's how you can use Bolt's technique. Make a list of your top 5 stress busters. Things you love doing outside your sport, like listening to music, painting, dancing, meeting friends, or even watching a movie. Read this list before your stressful performance. It reminds you that this isn't life or death, and there's life and fun waiting for you after. It's not so much a distraction as a powerful way to put your performance in perspective. Try it before your next big event and experience yourself how champions turn stress into success. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. You control 100% of your effort, but not 100% of the results. Athletes, do you get angry or frustrated when you make a mistake during practice or competitions while others seem to move on so easily? If so, then this sports psychology hack is for you. You're not alone. Even the great athletes struggle with this. But here's the game-changing secret they've mastered. It's called the circle of control, and it's your new tool to take care of mistakes. Listen to this carefully. You control 100% of your effort, but not 100% of the results. So next time you're angry about a mistake, pause and ask yourself, did I give 100% effort? If yes, remind yourself, I control whatever I could. The result is not entirely in my hands. If no, get curious, not furious. Ask, where could I improve? Write down your answer. This turns anger into actionable feedback. Try it in your next practice or game. Maybe you unlock a new level of mental toughness. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. Imagine losing your arm to a shark at 13. For most athletes, that's game over. But for Bethany Hamilton, it was just the beginning. On October 31st, 2003, a 14-foot tiger shark bit off Bethany's left arm. Doctors said she'd never surf again. But guess what? Just 26 days after the attack, Bethany was back on her surfing board. How? It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. She developed new techniques and retrained herself to surf with just one arm, going on to win multiple world titles. Bethany's secret? She focused on what she could control, not what she had lost. Here's how you can apply Bethany's mindset. Make a list of your strengths. Read this list during the warm-up before a match. Focus on these strengths, not your weaknesses. What's the shark in your story? How will you overcome challenges that bite? By knowing your strengths and believing in yourself. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. Did you know that Cristiano Ronaldo sleeps 5 times throughout the day in 90-minute stretches instead of one long sleep like the rest of us? He knows that sleep is not just rest, but an essential secret to his peak performance. Each 90-minute cycle allows him to go through all stages of sleep, including REM and deep sleep. According to research, optimal sleep quality can improve athletic performance by up to 9% and enhance recovery, cognition, and reaction time. While we may not be able to follow the same schedule like Ronaldo, we can enhance our ability to get into deep and REM sleep by following this routine. Lower the brightness when it's time to sleep and keep your phone away. Practice this 4-7-8 deep breathing for 2 minutes. Close your eyes and visualize yourself performing well in your next training or competition. Do this every night before bedtime to get deeper sleep. Remember that champions are not just made on the field, they're made in their daily habits, including in their sleep. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. LeBron James, the 4-time NBA champion and the highest scorer in NBA history, doesn't just play basketball. He enters a flow state. Being in that zone is a different feeling. You have a superpower. This is the secret mindset of elite performers. The best part, you can learn to get into this flow state on demand. During flow, the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for thinking, calms down and your performance increases by up to 5 times. Here's your flow state hack. The focus funnel technique. For 1 minute, focus on your surroundings, things you can see, touch, and hear. For the next 1 minute, focus on your body, your breathing, posture, and muscles. For the last 1 minute, focus intensely on one specific element of your sport. Do this 3-minute routine right before you train or compete. This isn't about just getting into the zone. It's about consistently accessing your peak state for maximum performance. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. How did Virat Kohli, once the world's most dominant batsman, overcome 1,020 days without a single international century to reclaim his throne?
So, when I sat down and thought about it, I was like, wow, I haven't actually touched a bat for 30 days.
The answer lies not in his technique, but in his mind. Kohli didn't train harder. He did something revolutionary. He stepped back. I'm looked as the guy who's mentally very strong. And I am. But everyone has a limit, and you need to recognize that limit. Otherwise, things can get unhealthy for you. According to science, strategic breaks can improve cognitive performance and reduce burnout. Here's how you can take strategic breaks like Kohli. Implement this weekly to prevent burnout and enhance performance. Remember, sometimes the best way to move forward is to step back. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. How does Eliud Kipchoge, the first human to run a sub-2-hour marathon, maintain superhuman focus? His secret can work for any athlete. Kipchoge doesn't just train his body, he rigorously trains his mind using a simple yet powerful psychology technique called the body sync method. According to research, this can improve focus by up to 48%. Here's how to apply the body sync technique in any sport. During training or competition, notice when your mind wanders. Immediately shift attention to a physical sensation, your breathing, or a specific body part in motion. Maintain this body-focused attention for at least 30 seconds. If distracted again, gently return your focus to your chosen physical anchor. Practice this for 5 minutes in your next training session. This powerful mindfulness tool enhances focus in any sport or challenging situation. Remember, when body and mind are in sync, performance follows. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. How does Roger Federer, 20-time Grand Slam champion, seem to have all the time in the world when under pressure? His secret time-slowing technique can work for any athlete. Federer doesn't just rely on his skills. He uses a powerful psychological technique to slow down his perception of time. Science shows that this technique can slow down the perception of time significantly to give you more space to make decisions. Here's how to apply Federer's time-slowing hack. In high-pressure moments, first, take a deep breath. Next, focus intensely on one specific detail, the feel of the ball or the movement of your heartbeat. Then expand your awareness to take in your surroundings. And finally, make a decision or take action from this expanded state of awareness. Practice this 4-step process for 2 minutes each day. This isn't just for tennis. It's a powerful tool to slow down perceived time in any high-pressure situation. When you control your perception of time, you control the opponent and your game. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. Ever heard of hockey being played underwater? Welcome to our new series of most unique sports played around the world. This is underwater hockey, also known as octopush, where players battle for a heavy puck at the bottom of the pool while holding their breath. Started in Great Britain, this sport even has its own world championship every 2 years, participated by around 25 countries. 6 players per team use mini hockey sticks, snorkels, and fins to push a heavy puck across the pool floor into the goals. The most fascinating thing is that every move challenges your survival instincts. Your brain is hardwired to panic underwater, but these athletes must override their survival instinct to make tactical decisions. That's what makes this sport a masterclass in mental toughness. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time, revealed a powerful truth. Say it first, become it later. Let's break this down. Research shows that what you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your reality. Your brain creates and strengthens these neural pathways called victory programming, increasing your self-belief even before you're a champion. Here's how to use Ali's victory programming technique. Choose 5 victory statements. I am a champion. I have sharp focus.
I'm unstoppable. I succeed in challenges. Victory is mine. Say this in your mind with full feeling the first thing when you wake up in the morning, even if your eyes are closed. This is when your brain is in its alpha wave state, the most susceptible time for neural programming. Champions know their greatness first in their mind before they show it on the field. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets.
My subconscious, I'm always speak with the ball. I'm always say, do it the right trajectory, go to the net. You have to feed the good thoughts. I'm always have that positive mind.
How does the world's most decorated gymnast maintain her mental strength under immense pressure? Simone Biles' secret lies in a powerful psychological technique that every athlete should master. If I disappoint someone, it's their loss for putting that expectation on me when they don't know me. I can't control what they want. Research shows that external expectations can increase stress hormones significantly and affect performance and mental well-being. Here's how Simone Biles creates a mental boundary to block out external expectations. Ask yourself, were these my expectations or someone else's? Can I control others' expectations of me? What are my own expectations? How can I improve to fit my own expectations? Next, repeat your chosen mental boundary statement every time you feel pressured by others' expectations. This rewires your brain to prioritize your own standards. It's about protecting your mental space for peak performance. Champions define success on their own terms. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. In Athens Olympics 2004, 4 years before Bindra won gold, a loose tile under his feet cost him his medal. By the time they figured this out and registered a technical complaint, it was too late. In shooting, every micrometer matters. Most would call it bad luck, but Bindra chose a different path. He immediately installed a loose tile in his practice range and began training on top of it. He mastered every imperfect condition by training under low light, bright light, shadows, and other extreme conditions. This preparation led him to win India's first individual Olympic gold medal in Beijing 2008.
In the 1,526 singles matches I played in my career, I won almost 80% of those matches. Now, I have a question for you. What percentage of points do you think I won in those matches? Only 54%. In other words, even top-ranked tennis players win barely more than half of the points they play. When you lose every second point on average, you learn not to dwell on every shot. When you're playing a point, it has to be the most important thing in the world, and it is. But when it's behind you, it's behind you. This mindset is really crucial because it frees you to fully commit to the next point and the next point after that.
How did Michael Phelps transform pre-race anxiety into 23 Olympic gold medals? His legendary pre-race routine reveals the secret. If you too suffer from pre-performance anxiety or nervousness, then the Peak State Protocol will make you feel relaxed and more confident for your next performance. Do this right before you perform. First, take 3 deep breaths. Visualize a good performance for 1 minute. Recall your past successful performances. Listen to your favorite music. Revise your match strategy. Use your performance affirmation. Deep breathing relaxes your nerves. Visualization makes you feel positive. Recalling your past successes puts you in a confident mind frame. Listening to your favorite music makes you feel calm and boosts dopamine. And revising your match strategy makes you mentally prepared for what's next ahead. Every step primes you to give your best performance with a confident and winning mindset. Follow for more sports psychology and performance secrets. How did Megan Rapinoe lead her team to World Cup victory despite enormous pressure? Her mental game secret transformed fear into focus. And you can do it too with 4 powerful techniques used by elite athletes. It's called the Fearless Focus Framework. 1. Visualization. Close your eyes. First, visualize yourself calm and composed. Then see yourself performing confidently in detail. 2. Self-talk. Identify your biggest fear. Then create a simple counter statement such as I trust my training. 3. Goal setting. Set 3 controllable goals before each game. Focus on effort, not outcome, such as strong first touch,
quick transition. 4. Mindfulness. Choose one physical sensation and return to it whenever fear arises. These techniques work by shifting your brain's focus from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. Master these techniques and like Rufino, you'll turn high-pressure moments into winning opportunities. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. How does Messi find that perfect pass when surrounded by 5 defenders? His secret lies in a mind hack that makes time feel slower. When you watch Messi play, he makes it look so easy. But if you stop and think for a moment, it's crazy what he can do. Here's how Messi's time freeze technique works. First, scan before you receive the ball. Next, take a mental snapshot of the player's positions. Focus on the ball's rotation as it comes to you. Keep your eye contact time with the ball minimal. Practice this sequence for 5 minutes every training session. This technique activates your brain's spatial temporal processing centers, allowing you to process information faster than your opponents. Start with walking speed and then increase your pace as you master every step. Soon, like Messi, you'll find time slowing down in high-pressure moments. Slow down time, speed up your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
You gotta set the example. This is another obstacle. This obstacle cannot define me. It's not going to cripple me. It's not going to be responsible for me stepping away for the game that I love. I'm going to step away on my own terms.
How did Michael Jordan, 6-time NBA champion, build unshakable confidence in just about 23 seconds? His psychological hack will transform your game. Jordan didn't just practice shots. He practiced programming his mind for clutch moments. And you can do it too using the 23-second success loop. Here's the 23-second confidence routine to feel like Jordan. Step 1. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Step 2. Recall your best performance moment. Step 3. Feel the confidence from that moment. Step 4. Tell yourself, I've done it before, I'll do it again. Practice this 23-second routine before crucial moments. This technique floods your brain with confidence-building chemicals, the same ones that were present during your peak performance. This is how Jordan turned pressure into power. It's not just confidence, it's chemically stored success, ready to be activated. That's your 23 seconds to transform doubt into dominance. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Doesn't even know it yet, having no regrets, it's all that she really wants. We're only getting older, baby, and I've been thinking about it lately. Does it ever drive you crazy? Just how fast it dies.
This is why Federer is a genius. Watch how he manipulates time itself. Let's break down this extraordinary moment. Watch how he slows down time in this moment. Notice how he reads his opponent's position, anticipates their expectation, and executes the perfect drop shot. This isn't just talent, it's heightened awareness. And you can develop it too. When you increase your awareness, your brain processes information faster, making time feel slower. Here's how to apply Federer's time-slowing hack. First, in high-pressure moments, take a deep breath. Next, focus intensely on one specific sensory detail, such as the feel of the ball or the sound of your heartbeat. Then, expand your awareness to take in your entire surroundings. And finally, make a decision or take action from this expanded state. Practice this 4-step process daily for 2 minutes. This isn't just for tennis. It's a powerful tool for slowing down perceived time in any high-stakes situation. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Cricket, though people say that it's a team sport, but there are constantly 2 individuals competing against each other.
How did Sachin balance personal glory with team victory for 24 years? That internal conflict between chasing your own dreams and putting the team's needs first. Here's a mental framework used by the greatest players called the Team Self-Balance Protocol. Step 1. Get role clarity. Define your role in your team's success. Identify your unique strengths. Step 2. Read the situation. Understand the team's needs and play your strengths accordingly. Step 3. The ego check. Ask yourself before every decision, does this action serve the team's goal? This protocol engages your anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's region that helps balance self-interest with group needs. Practice this mental checklist in every match or team situation for the perfect balance between team spirit and personal excellence. Train your mind, train your game.
Follow for more sports psychology secrets. Here's the real solution to anger, and it's not meditation. Watch this moment. Every athlete knows this feeling, that urge to shout and explode after a mistake. Here's what sports psychology reveals about anger that most people miss. The temporary relief feels good, but it's masking a deeper issue. This athlete is clearly in emotional distress, not addressing his inner experience. To control your anger, use the deep work protocol. First, write down your true feelings about your game. When I make a mistake, what am I most afraid of? Why? What would happen if my worst reality would come true? When you address these questions, you uncover deeper emotions and release tension. This helps separate mistakes from self-worth and rewrites your performance narrative. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Ronaldo. Oh, genius!
How does Cristiano Ronaldo, 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, master new skills in half the time? His brain hacking technique has changed everything we know about skill acquisition. Ronaldo's secret will transform your learning speed. Here's the mirror neuron activation method, a technique that programs your brain to learn movements faster than physical practice alone. First, find a video of the perfect technique in slow motion. Next, feel the movements in your body and imagine executing it perfectly. And finally, attempt the movement in your next practice and focus on subtle details. Imagining the technique activates your brain's mirror neurons, special cells that fire both when you perform and watch a movement. This is how Ronaldo mastered his signature free kick. Your brain learns the perfect movement pattern first, and then your body follows. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. In 1997, 18-year-old Kobe Bryant shot 5 air balls in the last crucial moments of the NBA playoffs, costing his team the season. While this can be an embarrassing moment for most athletes, Kobe had a different mentality. He didn't feel bad for himself. He immediately began to analyze. He realized that while his balls were in line, they were falling short of the basket. Moving from high school's weekend games to NBA's back-to-back 82-game season had left his legs too weak for crucial moments. Without wasting much time, he immediately created a weight training plan to make his legs stronger and started preparing for the next season's playoffs. This Mamba mentality approach to setbacks is what transformed Kobe into one of the greatest NBA players in history. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. Did you know that some sports actually increase aggressive behavior? Science reveals which ones and why. A fascinating 5-month study followed 113 athletes in 2 different combat sports, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts. Here's what shocked researchers. Both sports improved self-control and social behavior. While the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners became less aggressive, MMA fighters showed increased aggression. This discovery led scientists to look deeper into how different sports affect our mind. Here's what they found. Sports that build positive character. Traditional martial arts emphasize respect and discipline. Individual sports channelize energy positively into self-discipline. And team sports with a focus on cooperation develop empathy and social skills. In contrast, sports focused on physical dominance and aggressive contact showed the opposite effect, increasing aggressive behavior. This isn't just theory, it's proven by research published, so be mindful of which sport you choose to practice. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Oh, that's out! Hell, but it's out!
Ever seen a world-class athlete make a mistake so bizarre, it leaves everyone asking, how did that happen? This recent KL Rahul dismissal reveals a hidden enemy every athlete faces, brain fog. Athletes, have you experienced these moments where when your mind feels clouded, your decisions become unclear, and you make mistakes that don't reflect your true ability? That's a sign of brain fog. And here's the mental clarity protocol of how to recognize and overcome it. Brain fog can hit you from 2 directions, physically and mentally. Physically, it might be poor sleep, chronic stress, or nutritional deficiencies. Mentally, it could be unresolved emotional stress, performance anxiety, or depressive symptoms clouding your mind. But here's how to clear the fog. Sort out your sleep routine, get proper nutrition, practice daily meditation, and most importantly, don't hesitate to seek professional support. The sooner you address these triggers, the faster you'll get back to performing with a clear head. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. Research reveals the best gift that you can give your child to transform them into a confident and focused leader. And it's not an expensive gadget or a toy, but the experience of playing a sport. This research study showed that children who play sports at least 3 times a week showed 12% increase in cognitive abilities and school
school performance. This study showed that playing sports reduced anxiety and depression in children by up to 30%. And this Harvard study showed that young athletes were less likely to develop emotional and behavioral problems. And several of these other studies show the benefit of sports on the brain development of a child, such as improved learning, self-esteem, and impulse control. Playing sports boosts BDNF, a chemical important in learning and memory. It improves motor skills, social skills, and teaches kids how to handle wins and losses and bounce back from setbacks from an early age, transforming your child into a natural leader. So what are you waiting for? Which sport are you going to choose? Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
10 days ago, you won the most lucrative match, $6 million. What is it to go back home?
No, it's I don't play for money.
Jannik Sinner just won the biggest prize money awarded in tennis, a total of $6 million, more than any other prestigious tournament in tennis. But what was on his mind while playing? And what does this teach athletes of what you should be thinking about when playing under pressure? Sinner was not focused on the prize money or the glory of being world #1, but rather on playing the best tennis that he can. Your brain can only focus on one type of trigger at a time, result triggers or sensory triggers. When you focus on result triggers, your mind gets clouded. But when you stay with the sensory triggers, you access your full performance potential. Next time you compete, focus on the immediate action in front of you. Stay present, embrace the process, and let the results flow. Focus on playing each ball for what it is and enjoying the moment. And you too could be world #1 in your sport. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. 3 of the greatest athletes in history share one bizarre sports psychology approach that transformed their careers. Here's the fast-forward protocol for turning fear into confidence. Step 1. Take notice of your failure. Federer, after losing the 2008 Wimbledon final, didn't avoid the pain. Michael Jordan, after getting cut from his high school team, faced it head-on. And Tendulkar, after getting his first ball duck, focused on making just one single run. Step 2. Find the pattern. Instead of asking, why me? They ask, what pattern led to this? How can I use this to get better? Step 3, create one specific adjustment and test it in your next practice. That's what these legends did that led them to becoming champions in their field. This protocol activates your brain's anterior cingulate cortex, the region responsible for error detection, and fast forwards your learning from mistakes by up to 28%. Learn from the legends and don't fear failure. Take control of it. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
I do it, for example, the breathe. I do it in meditation when I feel a little bit more stressful.
5 Ballon d'Or awards, 5 Champions League titles, and here's Ronaldo revealing one of his secret mental weapons, meditation. Surprisingly, here's what most athletes get wrong. They train their bodies for hours, but they neglect the most powerful muscle, their mind. Here's a simple 5-minute meditation that you can use like Ronaldo. Step 1. Find your quiet space. Close your eyes and keep your back straight. Step 2. Set a timer for 5 minutes and get ready to concentrate. Step 3. Follow your natural breathing. Don't speed it up or slow it down. Just follow the air flowing in and out. Step 4. Hold your attention. If you get distracted with thoughts, acknowledge it and gently get back to following your breathing again. Do this as many times as is required. Research shows that athletes who meditate for just 4 weeks experience 50% less anxiety and 30% improvement in attention and performance. Start today and don't let all your hard work go to waste. Let me know if you're trying meditation and if it's helping you.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it.
What makes a 7-time Super Bowl champion think like this? Tom Brady destroys the #1 myth in sports, that you need special talent to succeed. Instead, he reveals the real formula: consistency, determination, and work ethic. The psychology behind this is powerful. Your potential isn't fixed, it's built day by day. Even science backs this up. The top predictor of success isn't talent, but deliberate practice. Most athletes search for natural talent, quick results, and motivation. But champions focus on small daily actions, long-term vision, and building habits. Save this if you're ready to build your own legacy.
Conscious breathing is probably the one ingredient that I would take out as the most important.
24 Grand Slams, the longest lasting player at the top. And here's Djokovic revealing his secret mental weapon: conscious breathing. Think about it. How many points did you miss because your mind wandered? How many times has pressure made you forget the basics? Here's a 3-step breathing protocol that can help you stay present under extreme pressure like Djokovic. Step 1. The reset breath. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. And exhale slowly for 6 counts. Use this between points to reset your focus. Step 2. The present state protocol. Feel your feet on the ground, notice your breathing rhythm, and let go of the past points. This keeps you anchored to the now. The science behind this is powerful. Conscious breathing reduces the stress hormone up to 30% and significantly improves reaction time and decision making under pressure. Here's the game-changing part. While others lose focus between points, you can use these precious seconds to reset and dominate.
Right, what's he done? They know each other well, so they'll make up.
What just happened here is a masterclass in emotional intelligence, a skill more powerful than any technical tennis technique. Neuroscience reveals something fascinating. When athletes can transform a potentially stressful moment into shared humor, they're actually activating their prefrontal cortex, the brain's emotional regulation center, which actually reduces their stress. Laughter reduces cortisol and reconnects you with your teammate, breaking tension instantly. This isn't just about sport. In work, relationships, and life, your ability to turn awkward moments into connection is your true superpower. Train your mind to find light in unexpected moments. That's how champions are made. Try the emotional flexibility protocol in your next challenging situation and let me know how you would have reacted in such a situation. This young boy with amputated legs became the world's first professional race car driver with both prosthetic legs by mastering a mindset protocol that changes everything. At a very young age, instead of focusing on what he couldn't do, he made a decision that would change motorsport history forever. If I had spoken about my deformity, I wouldn't have moved forward. What Chetan discovered was a powerful psychological framework that neuroscience calls modifying your narrative identity. He didn't limit himself or thinking of himself as differently abled. He would drive the same car as everyone else. Research shows that those who adopt this mindset activates the brain's neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire your brain to create new neural pathways. Your challenge might not be racing, but we all face moments where we need to rewrite our story. Today, identify one limitation in your life. Use this approach. Shift your identity, surround yourself with believers, and take action. No matter how small, start today and you'll redefine your narrative identity. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Well, I mean, Azari Joseph, who's made his way off the field.
According to neuroscience, in moments of anger, your amygdala, the emotion center in your brain, can hijack your rational thinking. But research shows that you have a 90-second window to regain control. MS Dhoni, one of the greatest cricket captains, mastered this technique. His ability to stay cool under pressure was a trained response. Here's the elite athlete's secret to mastering emotions in just 90 seconds. First, notice the physical signs like a racing heart, tense muscles, and take a deep breath. Next, think from a cool perspective and anticipate the consequences of your action and ask yourself, is the anger worth it? And finally, refocus your attention to the next step of play. These 90 seconds can change everything, and you'll be able to turn your entire performance around, from losing to emotions to becoming a cool-headed champion. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Very simple, don't think about the result. It's the result that puts pressure on us. You know, what if this happens? What if we don't win the game? What if we don't get selected? But again, worry about the controllables, you know, and whatever the controllables are, we take care of it, we'll get the desired result. If we don't get the desired result, we'll improve. We'll change our plans, we'll execute better, and we'll get a chance to prove ourselves again. So, you know, that's what it is. Thinking about the result never gives you result. Yes, you may have a target in mind, but what is more important is to take care of the small steps in life, you know, what needs to be done, what I am supposed to do, what extra I can do, and you know, that will help us achieve the target.
What's similar between the world's greatest cricket captain and the fastest man in the world? Parents, you won't like this one, but it's actually something that helps them to perform to their potential. It's playing video games. According to sources, Dhoni likes to think about the match only 2 hours before the game. and switches off mentally immediately after. Usain Bolt too loves playing video games and thinks about what he'll do after the race to mentally relax. Neuroscience reveals that deliberate mental disconnection actually improves cognitive performance, reduces stress hormones, and enhances future performance. Here's the 22-hour rule that you can use to master your de-stress mindset. Define a 2-hour window for intense strategic preparation. For the rest 22 hours, switch off from the pressure of the game. Create a list of 3 enjoyable activities, engage in it, and let the brain recover and rest. That's how MS Dhoni and Usain Bolt, two of the greatest athletes, rewrote the mental playbook. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. Instead of succumbing to the pressure and letting cortisol, the stress hormone, take over, Yashasvi Jaiswal channeled that energy into focused aggression. He didn't just face the entire Australian team's pressure, but turned sledging into a century. Not just surviving pressure, but thriving in it. As a future champion athlete, here's how you can handle pressure too. First, face the pressure head on. Channel that nervous energy into focused performance. Let your actions do the talking. Anchor yourself in the present and remember your strengths. That's how champions convert pressure into power. Whether you're facing a fast ball or life's challenges, pressure is a privilege. It's your chance to prove yourself. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. According to psychology, when we're constantly exposed to unhealthy situations, our brain's threat detection system gets desensitized. Tennis legend Andre Agassi experienced this exact pattern. Constant anxiety, diminished passion, and physical exhaustion aren't signs of commitment, but of toxicity. When Andre finally recognized and changed his environment, he transformed from hating tennis to becoming a champion who loved the game. Here's how champions recognize toxic environments before it's too late. First, notice the warning signs. Evaluate if criticism builds you up or breaks you down. Growth should challenge you, not damage you. Ask yourself, am I thriving or just surviving? Your answer reveals everything. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
No. Relax. Nothing has happened yet. Shut up. Shut up. Good.
Here you can see anxiety in action. The boy reacting too soon, which opens him up to more attack. According to neuroscience, the default mode network is overactive when you're not focused in the present moment, leading to overthinking and anxiety. Bruce Lee mastered this exact challenge and mentioned, be like water. Flow into the present moment without worrying about your future form. Here's how champions deactivate overthinking. First, recognize when your mind is creating future scenarios. Next, choose your physical anchor like your breath or stance that grounds you in the moment. And finally, practice bringing your attention back to this anchor whenever your mind wanders. Just like this master teaches his student to wait for the right moment. Practice this for 3 minutes daily. You'll transform from an overthinking athlete to a world-class performer. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Mental strength, which is what I think is your great gift, is much harder to articulate. Can you
I would
help
have
us
to correct
explain?
you. I would have to correct you.
All right,
It's not a gift. It's something that comes with work.
The 24-time Grand Slam champion reveals a powerful truth. Mental strength isn't always something you're born with. It comes with training, just like your physical and technical skills. Elite athletes like Kohli, LeBron, Ronaldo, and Federer all talk about the importance of their mental game and training it alongside their physical skills. Sports science proves this. Athletes who train their mind along with their body consistently outperform those focused on physical training alone. Here are the champion-level sports psychology techniques that transform performance. Visualization. Mentally rehearse success until it feels natural. Positive self-talk. Rewire negative thoughts to increase self-belief. Mindfulness. Master staying in the present moment under pressure. Pre-performance routines. Prime your mind before games for peak flow performance. Read the caption for more details. Don't tell me you haven't felt like breaking something before. The temporary relief feels good, but it's masking a deeper issue. Did you know that Rafael Nadal said that the total number of rackets he's broken in his career is 0? While on the other hand, this former #1 tennis player has broken a record of 1,055 rackets. And here's what performance psychology reveals. This isn't about anger, it's about self-worth. When an athlete breaks their equipment, they're not really reacting to that lost point. They're responding to a deep fear of not being good enough. Here's the deep work
protocol that champions use. First, identify your core fear. What scares me the most about making mistakes? Next, trace it deeper. Why does this fear have such a power over me? Finally, face it. What's the worst that could happen, and can I handle it? This protocol doesn't just manage anger, it builds unshakable self-worth that isn't threatened by any single mistake. Follow for more sport psychology secrets.
Ronaldo. Oh, genius! Absolute genius!
With 80,000 screaming fans and all eyes on him, Ronaldo is completely locked in. Neuroscience shows that elite athletes reach this stage through visualization, literally rewiring their neural pathways until pressure feels like second nature. Check the caption to know the exact visualization technique used by champions. Train your mind, train your game. While his opponent stands still, Nadal's aggressive warm-up sends a powerful message. According to neuroscience, dominant body language fundamentally changes how your brain perceives itself. Dhoni would stand impossibly still behind the stump, intimidating the batsman and making his presence felt without a single word. Even goalkeepers make themselves look bigger and even delay the kick to show the power of psychology. Your brain can't tell the difference between acting confident and feeling confident in that moment. Here's the power presence protocol to feel more confident. Move fast and skillfully to show power. Make yourself look bigger, stand tall and wide to own the space. Keep your head up and smile to show confidence even if you don't feel it. These routines signal that you're ready to yourself and to your opponent, because the truth is, your presence speaks before your performance does. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Queenslander, he hasn't even touched the ground yet, the young man, and he's boomed away here in the heats and he's gone. That is history.
This 16-year-old is sprinting towards breaking Usain Bolt's world record of 9.58 seconds. But whether he'll break Bolt's record or not depends on mastering the mental game that separates prodigies from champions. Take Prithvi Shaw for example. He was proclaimed to be the next Sachin, but his journey took another turn. With his recent poor form and fitness, he wasn't even picked up at the recent IPL auction. Here's the Young Champions Development Protocol that separates future record breakers from one-hit wonders. First, track your progress carefully. Every milestone tells you if you're growing or slowing. Next, stay disciplined. Match your daily habits to your dream. And finally, stay hungry for improvement. The moment that you think you made it is the moment you start falling behind. Could we be witnessing history in the making? Drop a Bolt in the comment if you think that this 16-year-old can break Bolt's record. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Oh, that looks big. Has he got it big enough? I think he has. Oh! What a save!
That was a screamer!
Scientifically speaking, in split-second moments, it's your brain's primitive response that kicks in, making it difficult to think logically. But pros are wired differently. Just ask Sky, the Indian cricketer whose gravity-defying catch in the World Cup showed exactly this. Champions override their basic instincts through thousands of hours of repetition. Here's a rapid response protocol that elite athletes use. First, train your mind to stay alert and responsive. Less thinking, more reacting to what's in front of you. Next, keep the bigger picture in focus, where team victory matters more. Finally, practice reaction drills under pressure to train your brain to respond faster than you can think. It's not your talent, but when it's tested under split moments that determine the champion. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. Known as the Sleeping Beauty athlete, what she's really displaying is a masterclass in mental control. This Ukraine champion fled the war to pursue her dreams and discovered something powerful: how to find peace even under pressure. At the highest level, stress hijacks your performance. But here's the mental sanctuary protocol that elite athletes use. First, find your safe space. Shut out the chaos through counting, breathing, or any other calming ritual. Next, stay in your bubble. The world outside can wait while you reset your nerves. And finally, trust the process. Feel the calmness of your safe space, then open your eyes and embrace the championship. This champion didn't just stun the world with her performance, but decided to dedicate her goal to the 500 athletes who died in the war and could never compete again, showing that true strength isn't about handling pressure, it's about finding peace within it. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Everyone's talking about the youngest chess champion in the world, but what do we know about the secret mental preparation behind his success? In 2013, when Gukesh watched his idol lose the world title, he made a promise to bring the title back to India. When he got to know that he'll be playing the World Chess Championship this year, he started looking for a mental conditioning coach and found Paddy Upton, the mental coach behind India's 2011 World Cup winning team and the Paris 2024 hockey squad. While working closely with Paddy, every scenario was mentally prepared for. His mindset if he's leading, falling behind, sleep patterns, exercise routines, diet, and how he would maintain focus during his opponent's turn so that his mind doesn't wander. While the opponent would often steal glances at Gukesh, Gukesh's focus remained on the chessboard. According to neuroscience, this level of mental preparation rewires your brain's neural pathways. His grit, composure, and self-belief led Gukesh to becoming the world's youngest chess champion at just 18, showing what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
Imagine smelling your mom's food through your phone. Scientists just made it possible. A company called Osmo in Massachusetts has been secretly working on this for years.
When champions visualize success, engaging in all senses creates stronger neural pathways. This technology could revolutionize how athletes prepare for peak performances. According to neuroscience, smell is our most powerful memory trigger. It bypasses conscious thought and directly activates emotional and memory centers in your brain. Here's how it could be a game changer for athletes. This could supercharge visualization practice. From the grass of Wimbledon to the chalk of Olympic gymnastics, every environment could be mentally mastered. You could experience new competition environments before even arriving there. And for those far from home, the familiar scent of your training ground can always travel with you. Technology is evolving and its implication in every field is fascinating. And for athletes, they don't just see success, they smell it, feel it, and live it. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. Why was Gukesh rearranging the chessboard instead of celebrating his victory as the youngest world champion? This isn't just a habit, it's psychological anchoring. According to psychology, in moments of overwhelming emotion, your brain searches for familiar patterns to ground itself in reality. Instead of the amygdala, which is the emotional center of the brain that's overpowering, the basal ganglia, responsible for habits and patterns, takes over, demanding less emotional energy at that time so that he can completely process the experience. It's also a beautiful display of respect, honoring the game that just changed his life forever. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. Why did R. Ashwin suddenly announce his retirement from international cricket in the middle of an ongoing series? With 537 test wickets, Ashwin's legacy in Indian cricket is undeniable. But over the past 2 years, something had shifted. The signs were there, from being benched in Perth, allegedly being hesitant to travel to Australia if he wasn't promised a spot on the starting 11. Here's a player who dominated world cricket, now finding himself in the sidelines. According to sports psychology, for champion athletes, the hardest transition isn't from good to great, it's from great to goodbye. Even his father's slip to the media about the unbearable humiliation reveals the weight champions carry when their role changes. While legends like Sachin orchestrated their farewell, Ashwin wrote his ending differently. But Ashwin's story isn't just over yet. He said that he'll be back in the IPL, showing that champions choose how their legacy continues. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. These micro moments of support do something powerful. According to neuroscience, when you're physically exhausted, your brain's executive functioning, responsible for basic tasks, takes a backseat. But great teammates understand this. They reduce cognitive load when you're most vulnerable, letting you stay focused on performance. It's not just about helping, it's about building trust through actions that say, I've got your back. Champions aren't made by just what they do during play, but how they support each other through every moment. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. According to neuroscience, trying to push away thoughts and emotions is like hitting the shuttle. They just keep coming back stronger. Champions understand something powerful. Acceptance beats avoidance. When you try to suppress match anxiety, you're actually telling your brain, this feeling is dangerous, making it return with more intensity. Here's the acceptance protocol that elite athletes use. First, acknowledge what you're feeling. Name it. Welcome it. Let it be there. Your pre-match nerves are just your body getting ready to perform. Next, shift your relationship with these feelings. Instead of seeing anxiety as your enemy, recognize it as your body's natural preparation. So take deep breaths, recall your strengths, and trust your preparation. Finally, channel this energy into your performance. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
they can enforce their rules, that's fine by me. And my response is that, fine, then I'm out. Like,
According to sports psychology, the way we deal with rules reveals something deeper about our relationship with the sport itself. When Magnus Carlsen, arguably one of the greatest chess players, got disqualified for wearing jeans at the World Rapid and Blitz Championship, it wasn't just about the dress code, it's something more fundamental. While his chess brilliance is undeniable, champions influence more than just the game. They shape the culture of their sport. Every action sends a message to the next generation. Here's why rules matter. First, they create equality. From beginners to world champions, everyone plays by the same standard. Next, they build discipline. Following small rules trains your mind for bigger challenges. Finally, they show respect for the game, the traditions, and for all who play it. What do you think about Magnus's reaction, and do you think it's justified? Should the management have been more considerate given his legacy? Follow for more sports psychology secrets. The Indian team captain Rohit Sharma was shockingly dropped from the next match against Australia in the middle of the series. This moment exposes the brutal truth about pressure of public memory. After struggling with just 31 runs across 5 innings, the same captain who led India to the T20 World Cup victory finds himself facing calls for retirement. According to sports psychology, there's something fascinating how quickly glory fades when current form dips. This isn't just about cricket, it's about a mental battle between self-belief and public pressure. Here's what expectations does to a champion's mind. First, every failure starts to feel heavier than past successes. Suddenly, years of achievement are overshadowed by recent struggle. Next, external noise grows louder than internal conviction. The same crowd that celebrated your victories now starts questioning your presence. And finally, maintaining self-belief becomes the hardest mental challenge when everyone else loses faith. Do you think Rohit Sharma should retire and make way for the younger force, or keep pushing his physical and mental abilities to the limit? Follow for more sports psychology secrets. The other day, Magnus Carlsen was disqualified from the World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship for wearing jeans. And the next day, he's back, playing in jeans. According to sports psychology, this moment reveals something fascinating about power dynamics in elite sports. When the world's best player challenges a rule, the psychological dilemma lies in whether to enforce authority or risk losing your biggest star. Here's what happens when reputation meets regulation. Influence becomes a form of currency. Carlsen's value to chess is part of his power. While he later agreed to change his genes for the next day's performance, his initial stance of not changing on the same day made a bigger statement about outdated regulations and athlete autonomy. For the organization, eventually retaining their star player mattered more, and the sponsors of the event may not have been too happy with how the situation was handled. Eventually, the fans got to see their favorite player, while Magnus stuck to his principles and fashioned in jeans. Interestingly, in elite sport, the game isn't just played on the board. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. After Gukesh's win, this was India's next big conquer. When she says that it's not easy to be a world champion at 37, she's acknowledging more than just the age. According to performance psychology, social support isn't just helpful, it's crucial to peak performance. It acts as a safety net that allows athletes to take bold risks and stay focused on excellence. While our champion focuses on her game, her family manages life's complexities behind the scenes, the foundation for her championship performance. This goes to show that this victory isn't just hers. It belongs to everybody in the family that watched her child, supported her dreams, and made space for her success. Who are the people who support you and make space for your success? Send this to them as a reminder of your gratitude and their dedication. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets.
I regret I'm not able to make you work on Sundays. What do you do sitting at home? How long can you stare at your wife? How long can the wife stare at your husband? Come on, get to the office and start working.
This kind of leadership mindset reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of human productivity and well-being. Let's look at what the research actually shows about optimal performance. When countries implement a 4-day work week, they're seeing higher productivity, better employee retention, and improved mental health outcomes. Here's what happens when you force continuous work without adequate recovery. First, cognitive performance drops significantly. Your brain's prefrontal cortex literally reduces its ability to maintain quality output. Next, creativity creativity and problem-solving abilities decline. Innovation doesn't come from exhausted minds. It comes from refreshed ones. Finally, mental health deteriorates, leading to increased anxiety, depression, and burnout, ultimately reducing both productivity and retention. What business leaders can learn from sports psychology? Elite athletes don't train 7 days a week, and even if they do, they don't do it with the same intensity. They understand that recovery is as crucial as performance, and players with less recovery show up to 9% reduction in their performance. And in the world of competitive sport, every percent counts. Things need to change at the systematic level, and we need to understand how human minds operate. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology insight. Watch Gukesh here. After an overnight flight and hours after receiving India's highest sporting honor, he finds himself in the losing position. While his opponent relaxes, thinking that victory is secured, like a cheetah waiting for the perfect moment, Gukesh's trained mind stays sharp enough to spot and grab a single mistake. His focus never wavers despite exhaustion. Here's the champion's resilience protocol that elite performers use. First, maintain unwavering concentration regardless of circumstances. Next, stay patient even in difficult positions. Champions know that opportunities can appear in the most challenging moments. Finally, keep your analytical skills sharp under pressure. When others miss details, your focused mind catches everything. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. According to neuroscience, when your brain imagines an action, it activates the same neural pathways as when actually performing it. Watch this athlete here. He's not just listening to the start signal, he's programming his brain for perfect responses. This is what sports psychology calls trigger-based visualizations. Champions use specific sounds to activate complete performance sequences in their mind. Here's how you can use this technique to your advantage. First, choose your trigger. Whether it's the referee's whistle, the sound of the ball hitting a racket, or the starter's gun, specific to your sport. Next, pair this sound with perfect execution in your mind, visualizing every sequential detail slowly. Your brain's mirror neurons will fire, creating neural patterns for success. Finally, practice this regularly. The more you mentally connect trigger to responses, the faster your performance becomes. Champions don't just train their body, they program their brain for automatic success. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. What just happened in domestic cricket? The Indian Stars scored a combined score of 12 runs. According to sports psychology, when established players struggle in domestic cricket, it reveals something deeper about competitive mindset. Here's what's really happening. First, these domestic players aren't just competing, they're hunting. They've watched these stars struggle recently in international matches, and now they smell opportunity, ready to claim their name. Next, stars often fall into two mental traps, either overwhelmed by pressure to prove themselves after international failure, or becoming too relaxed with a star mindset, underestimating the hunger of domestic talent. Finally, this shows us something fascinating about competitive psychology. You're only as good as your current mindset, not your past achievements. Here's how you could avoid such traps with the Champions Mindset Protocol. First, maintain your intensity regardless of the stage. Every game demands your best. Next, respect your opponent's hunger. They're not just playing, they're fighting for your spot. Finally, remember that reputation doesn't win matches. Preparation and presence do. What do you think affected the Stars' performance more? Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. When an Uzbekistan grandmaster refused to shake hands with Indian female chess player Vaishali, citing religious reasons, her response taught us something powerful about mental strength. According to sports psychology, how you handle disrespect before the competition often determines your performance during it. In neuroscience, we know that social rejection activates the same brain regions as physical pain. Watch Vaishali's response here. When faced with an unexpected rejection, her composure speaks volumes about her mental strength. In sports, you'll face moments designed to shake your confidence, whether intentional or not. But champions understand something powerful. Other people's actions reflect on them, not on you. Here's the mental shield protocol that elite athletes use. First, separate the action from your worth. Someone's behavior towards you doesn't define your value or ability. Next, channel any emotional response into focused determination. Let their actions fuel your performance. Finally, maintain your standards regardless of others. Vaishali showed this perfectly. Graceful in the face of disrespect, dominant improvement in performance. The player who refused the handshake had to explain himself publicly, facing considerable criticism across social media, while Vaishali ended up winning the match and let her victory do the talking. This is especially concerning when the same player shook hands with another Indian female chess player, Divya, in a previous tournament. Remember, your response to disrespect shows more strength than the disrespect itself. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. When India's captain drops a potential hat-trick catch and immediately apologizes to his bowler, it reveals something powerful about the psychology of mistakes. According to neuroscience, when we make public mistakes, our brain's error detection system, the anterior cingulate cortex, goes into overdrive, making it difficult to refocus on the present moment. But research shows that properly acknowledging mistakes actually helps deactivate the brain's rumination centers, allowing you to process the error and return to performance state faster. Here's the mistake recovery protocol that elite performers use. First, own it completely. Like Rohit's immediate apology shows, taking responsibility stops the mental energy drain of denial. Next, perform a quick mental reset. Acknowledge the emotion, take one deep breath, and consciously shift focus to the next action. Finally, compartmentalize. Put the mistake in a mental box to be analyzed later, not during the ongoing performance. This applies beyond sports, whether in workplace errors, relationship missteps, or personal failures. Your response to mistakes often matters more than the mistakes themselves. So the next time you make a significant error, remember, it's not about never making mistakes. It's about how quickly you recover and refocus. Champions aren't defined by perfect performances, but their ability to move forward when perfection fails. Train your mind, train your game. Follow for more sports psychology secrets. This world-famous MotoGP rider had a bad start and dropped to the last position before his race even began. With every rider in front of him, he knows there's no way he's winning this one. But then, he decides to accept the moment. Notice his body language shift. No hesitation as he passes by 6 riders. He's not focused on winning the race, but on making every turn right, breaking it down into mini moments of conquer. But still not in the lead, he narrows his focus. His brain's amygdala deactivates, and he pulls through the neurochemical anxiety, mastering the moment. Finally, he's taken the lead, showing that your starting point doesn't define your ending, but your mindset does. Check the caption for a detailed breakdown on confidence and follow for more sports psychology secrets. As the players and young mascots line up for this match, the weather suddenly takes a turn. The players, already warm from their pre-match routine, hardly notice. But then one player acts, taking off his jacket and placing it around a boy's shoulders. You can see the reaction on the boy's face, surprised and happy at this gesture. What happens next is remarkable. One by one, his teammates follow suit, each sheltering a child from the cold. Single gesture transforms into a wave of kindness. Neuroscientifically, this is called behavioral contagion. Our brain's mirror neuron system activates, making us significantly more likely to perform similar acts ourselves.
Hi Kanashni, great to talk with you. As a sports psychologist, how do you evaluate the role of mental skills in improving the performance of Kabaddi players?
Hi Reza, I think that's a really great question. As a sports psychologist, I feel mental skills training is extremely essential for Kabaddi players to improve their performance, especially because the game involves high levels of focus and quick decisions that have to be made under high pressure. Skills such as visualization, positive self-talk, breathing exercises, and even meditation can help Kabaddi players take their game to the next level. Stay strong and train your mind to improve your game. All the best. Hi everyone, I'm Kanashni and I'm a sports psychologist. I work with athletes, coaches and academies and anyone engaged in high performance. This work is important because it addresses the mental well-being of sports people and helps them to perform under high pressure. It helps boost confidence, focus, motivation and overcome mental barriers in sports. Sports psychologists work at sports organizations, academies, or can have their private practice. Choose sports psychology if you want to help boost the mental well-being of athletes and help them perform their best.
Hi everyone, this is Kunashni Parekh, sports psychologist and mental coach. I help national and international athletes enhance their performance through mental training. I've been a part of the FC Goa national soccer camps hosted online, supported by RB Leipzig. And we have a lot of sessions for you online, so if you haven't already registered for this program, which is free for all of you guys out there, Do log on to the website, sign up for more information and register to get the best out of football. My session is going to be on sports psychology to know how you can enhance your performance and take your game to the next level through training your mind. So I'll see you all guys there and all the best.
Access to the beautiful game has never been easier. For all you young footballers out there, this is your opportunity to play with the flair of FC Goa and the high tempo style of RB Leipzig. Register for the online soccer camps today. Forza Goa.
What do you, man?
Sure, thanks. So a little about me. My name is Kunashni, as you guys all would know, and you can see it there on your screens. So I'm a sports psychologist and also a mental health practitioner, and my background is also a lot into sports. So I myself have been a football player for India as the vice captain and goalkeeper for the junior India football team. My graduation has been in neuroscience, so my background is in behavioral neuroscience, so understanding the biological basis of the brain, and also with my training in sports psychology and clinical psychology, I now help players, athletes, national and international sports players to enhance their performance through mental training. So that's what I do. I work with sports players from all different kinds of sports, all different kinds of fields, and help them to improve their game with the power of psychology.
Tell me, what are the excuses you give कि आपको वर्कआउट ना करना पड़े? मेरा तो परपेचुअल है कि अभी मैंने खाना खाया, अभी मेरे को डाइजेस्ट करना है, अभी 2 घंटे बाद करूंगी, फिर मेरी बॉडी हैवी फील होती है, फिर मुझे नींद आने लगती है. Basically anything not to work out. What is your excuse not to work out? Share with me. मैं शेयर करूंगी हमारी स्पोर्ट्स साइकोलॉजिस्ट एंड काउंसलर कुनाशनी के साथ जो होने वाली है दिस संडे ना संडे लाइव सेशन, so that we can find a way and work around the excuse, so we start to work out.
कल से करूंगी वर्कआउट, मंडे से करूंगी वर्कआउट. 1 घंटे में करती हूँ, शाम को करती हूँ वर्कआउट, कर रही हूँ वर्कआउट.
Number 1 excuse, how to overcome it. Sunday live session with B. Smriti Kalra this Sunday. How to train your mind so you can physically work out anywhere. Sports psychologist, counselor, neuroscience scholar, researcher Kunashni is going to be with us. Be there.